Hello and welcome to day 18 of the Halloween Craft Countdown, where I'm releasing a new Cricut craft every day for the whole of October. Today's project are these colouring cards for kids. So these are a really cute non-candy alternative to trick-or-treat gifts, or because there's probably not going to be an awful lot of trick-or-treating this year, you could make them for your kids to keep them busy on Halloween night. I'll show you how to make your own little colouring printables in Design Space and put whatever images you want at the top. I actually drew these using my Cricut machine, so these are drawn with a pen. They're not printed out on a computer, so you don't need a printer to be able to make these. So let's jump into Design Space and find out how to make them. Open up a new screen in Design Space and then click into Projects. In the Search Projects at the top, type in Valentine Colouring. So we're going to be a little bit cheeky here and choose a Valentine's Day colouring project, and then we're going to change it from Valentine's into Halloween. So the project you're looking for is called Valentine Colouring Card with Crayons, and it looks like this. And then you can go down to the bottom and click the Customize button. This will open up the files. It might take a little while. And then you can see you've got these 3 colouring files. So these are all Valentine's and I don't want them. I want them to be Halloween. So I'm going to need to make some changes. So let's delete 2 of those. And then this one will be the one that I change. So I've clicked on it, and then over in the layers panel you can see everything is attached together because the top layer says attached. So I'm not going to be able to change what I need to at the moment. I need to go down to the bottom of the layers and click detach. Now everything's separate, I can make a few changes. First off, I'm going to click on the dinosaur group in the layers panel and just hit delete on my keyboard. Next, I'm going to find the layer that says Valentine Your Dynamite, and I want to change this text, so I can just double click into it and then type something else in there. Let's go for Happy Halloween. Now when you change the text, it does tend to change it from draw into cut, which is why these P's and O's are filled in. So if you change the word, just make sure in the line type at the top you change it from cut to draw, and then that will put all those letters correct again. Okay, so now we can choose our Halloween image to go in the top. So go into Images, and I'm going to type in Halloween. By default, this will show you all of the Halloween pictures that Design Space has. And you can choose any of these, but if you do, let me just show you how it works. So I'll choose these bats and then this Halloween with the little ghosts. So if you choose images which are cut images by default, you'll need to change them to be drawn with your Cricut machine, because we're just drawing this outline on here so that your kids can colour it in. To change it, go into the line type drop down and change it to draw. And then that just gives you the outline. So when this draws, it's going to draw that image there. And that one actually looks pretty good. I might use that one. But this one, when I go and change it to draw, because these lines are really thin, it means you get these edges where your pen's going to draw them twice. And when we make this really small, it means those lines are going to be almost touching, and it's just going to look a little bit messy. What you can do instead to make sure you only get proper draw images is when you're searching, in the left hand side, click into Art Type and then click Draw Only. So now it's showing me everything that matches the Halloween tag, but these are already draw images, so I know I'm going to get nice lines around the edge. So I can choose this little ghost and have a look down and see if there's anything else that I want to choose for my other colouring toppers. Now if you have specific crayons that you're going to use, you might want to make sure that whatever you are selecting will work with those particular colours that you've got. So if you don't have an orange crayon, maybe a pumpkin's not the best choice, for example. Well, now I've got my 3 pictures here. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to duplicate my background 3 times. So I still want to do 3. So I'm going to drag all around it, and then at the top of the layers panel, press group. I can now right click and duplicate it twice so that I've got 3 in total. Okay, so now I can just add these on, and you'll notice that it's not showing, and that's because the layer of the monster is behind this layer of the colouring. So go into arrange at the top and centre front, and now I can move it onto the colouring sheet. So let's put a little monster here, and I'm actually going to move the Happy Halloween down so I can make the monster bigger. To do that, I'm going to have to ungroup everything and then find the layer. So I ungrouped it and that moved it to the top, which is why you can't see the monster again. So there we go. Let's find the monster in my layers panel and send him to the front again. And now I can just make him a tad bigger. Alright, so I've got my ghost, and again I need to send that to the front, and I will need to ungroup that next one. So before I do that, I'm just going to select all of the first one again, and then rather than group it, now that I've got my picture on there, I'm going to click attach. And what attach does is it means that when we go to make it, it will keep the order that everything's in. If you just grouped it, then it wouldn't actually keep the monster on top of this bit of paper. It would put it somewhere else. But attach means it'll all stay together. So now I can find my second colouring one. That's this one. And ungroup it so that I can move the text down. Let's just use my arrow keys. And then I want to find the ghost layer, bring it to the front, and I can make it bigger. There we are, and now I can attach those layers together. And then I've just got this one last one. So again, I'm going to ungroup it so that I can move that text down. And then the bats that I made earlier, arrange, center front, can make it a little bit bigger. There we are, and then select all of that, right click and attach, or of course you can click attach in the bottom of the layers panel. Okay, so now here are my 3 colouring cards all ready. So I can click make it. And then I'm going to change my paper size to A4. I reckon I can fit 2 of these on one sheet. So I'm just going to rotate that one. And then move this one by clicking the 3 little dots. Click move object. And then I'll put it on here. So sometimes by moving things about, it means you'll use less card, and I'm also going to rotate that one so that I only use that top bit of the card. Okay, so there we go. I can click continue, and it's going to connect to my maker. I'm going to cut this out of medium cardstock, and then it's telling me to load a pen in my part A, my clamp A, and then my fine point blade in clamp B. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put my pen in the first clamp and my blade in its normal second one. I've just noticed it's actually telling me that it's using 2 different colours of pen. I only have a black Cricut pen, so I'm just going to go and fix that. I might have to detach everything. Let's colour sync it. That all says it's the same. Monster draw black. Happy Halloween is black. And the to and the from is black. Right, let's try that again. Sorry about that little detour. Let's just move these around because I don't want to have to cut it on 3 sheets when it would fit on 2. And one more. Right, now when I hit continue, medium cardstock. Okay, now it's not telling me that it's going to need a midnight pen, it's just going to use the black one. So yay, I should have tried that before I sent it to my Cricut the first time, but we managed to fix it, so it's all good. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw and cut this with my Cricut machine, and then I will show you how to slot it all in together. So here's my sheet printed out with the drawing of the monster and the ghost, and I'm going to show you a nifty trick to get this off of your cutting mat without the card peeling up. So first take off the excess, so you can tear this off normally, just peel all of that outer card off. And you can see as I'm doing this the card is bending, and if we were to just rip the colouring toppers off in this same way, then it would bend up, and we don't want that. So to stop your card from bending, rather than pulling the card off the mat, we're going to turn the mat upside down and then slowly bend it backwards, and you'll see the paper will just start popping off. So this is a gentle bend, not a fold. You don't want to snap your mat, but you can just keep gently bending and your design will just come off. So I'm pulling it a little bit because this is a brand new mat, so it is super sticky at the moment. But the more I bend, the more this comes off nice and easy. And then that's one. And let's take the second one off as well. Need to move it a bit closer. I do tend to take my time doing this because I don't want to rip it. And the more careful you are, the flatter it will come off. Okay, so here are my 2 pieces, and I've already got the third one, which I've put the crayons in. So now to finish these off, it really is just as simple as threading some crayons through. So I've got this Crayola set. Let's have a look. So for my little monster alien, I think a green would be good, and perhaps a red. I think that might actually be orange, but that's fine. And for the ghost, this one's a bit more girly, so let's have a pink. And what other colour? She's got a pumpkin, so an orange. And all you need to do to put the crayons in is just feed it through one side of the hole. So tuck it in the bottom, through the hole, and then keep poking it through, and then go through the hole on the other side. It's a little bit fiddly. There we go. And what's nice about how this works is it's flat on the other side, so these will lie nice and flat on a surface. So same again, just thread it through one side and then the other side. Last one, the little ghost. Managed to put crayon all over it, that's not very clever. In one side, and then through and out the other side. And then one more. There we are. So now if you're doing these as classroom favours, you can just write the to and from names on the bottom of each one. But apart from that, these are now ready to give to your kids or your kids' friends as nice little Halloween souvenirs. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Halloween crafts. I'm doing a new Halloween post every day in October, so be sure to check those out. Thank you for watching.